Okay. Hi, guys. This is Prompt Engineer on your favorite channel. And today I'm with a very special guest. He is the founder of the VectorShift platform, which is an end-to-end AI autonomous platform. We'll see more details of the this platform in a while. I've also published a couple of videos on VectorShift, and you can have a look on that. But today I'm very fortunate to being given the opportunity to interview with Albert Mao, who is the founder of VectorShift. And let's proceed with the interview. Hi, Albert.
Well, thank you so much for your time, actually, and it's great to be here. Would love to, looking forward to talking about kind of the background of VectorShift, kind of having this conversation about AI and how kind of where we see the future of the AI landscape and how I guess our platform fits in.
Yes, I think as the future is definitely improving, just like today, just now, OpenAI has released a bot, a real life bot, which has the brain of the GPT-4 and even GPT 4.5. So that is, the crucial journey that the AI is being. But we have, these new things that are coming up and the innovations that we have in every stepping stones. There are so many things to learn. So let's get started with VectorShift. And if you can just share the screen, we can maybe have a look on how the platform is and what the platform is and how we can have reap the benefits of this platform.
Absolutely. I guess if you go to our homepage, I think this graphic, I think summarizes our platform pretty well. And let's start here. Maybe we could go into the actual platform to actually talk about how to actually use the different pieces, right? But if we can start with kind of what our platform is, we're kind of a end-to-end platform, as you mentioned, that can build AI, generative AI specifically solutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have two interfaces. One is no code, and we have a compatible code SDK with it. And
Okay.
our vision is, you have an idea for an AI solution, AI chatbot, AI knowledge search, AI workflow, AI automation. How can we actually close the gap between your idea and actually deploying it without code? And that's kind of the vision and the problem that we're trying to solve, right? In that journey of going from idea to actual conception, there's a few things that are pretty consistent among any different solution, right? So one is there's often these core building blocks of AI, right? Models, vector databases, be able to transform data in certain ways, right? And many others that we could go into, but we offer the core components of AI and we've componentized them in no code. The second piece that we'll have to really dive in is the most important thing on every AI workflow that we've seen is the data involved. And we need to be able to get the right data in your company, wherever it sits, to the model, right? And we almost want to build this central knowledge brain for a company, right? That no matter where your data sits, OneDrive, Google Drive, Gmail, Slack, Linear, GitHub, we want to be able to live sync and live embed. And we already have this with a dozen of integrations, and we're adding more and more by the day in kind of a one central knowledge base where you can then deploy LLM models around it. And really, we've seen how to actually handle data and how to actually get the right data to the right models, and then how to actually architect the pipeline, having models with different tasks, chaining models together, is actually how to actually get the most value about LLMs. And finally, another piece of the platform that we'll have to talk about, which is, performing actions, right? So a lot of people have talked about agents and how to actually use autonomous agents to actually do this. We have our own agent product that we haven't released yet, but it's coming soon. Especially when GPT 4.5 is released, agents will get much better, right? And have you talk more about that? But we have already built many of the actions that AI workflows can perform, such as sending an email, sending a Slack message. So you can orchestrate all of this in our platform. And finally, you want to often place interfaces on the platform. So we have like a chatbot interface, and we have a search interface coming out very soon. That was a long
Okay.
intro, but is there a piece that you want me to
Yes.
walk through, and what
Yes.
do you want me to do?
Yes. Just from the intro, really nice intro that we have. I have a few questions in mind. I have a few
Okay.
statements, and I want you to say and describe it if I'm wrong or right in my assumption. So when we say no code and when we say low code, so that provides, I think, in the no code solution, that provides a beginner to use the platform, and a low code solution provides someone with just an intro or someone with lesser knowledge of Python or JavaScript to build up the platform and test up the sequence of thoughts that the person has and test it out quickly on the platform.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference between no code and the low code. Like, do you have a full? Okay, I see a full SDK as well, where you have. I think you have made some libraries as well. There's a VectorShift library.
Yep.
So okay, that again, a full solution is also available. I think a full code as well.
I totally agree. I mean, we wanted to design our platform to be the most flexible as possible, even in the no code, right? But
Yes.
there's places where code makes sense. So, we have a feature called transformations, which you can import your own Python code. But we have also many developers that use our platform, and they prefer to use the code SDK. So that's why we offer that option.
Yes, yes. And another assumption that I'm making is that since we have made this flow, component wise, so it's very easy to switch and test out different components. For example, in the LLM block, we can replace OpenAI with any other LLM. So having that sort of block-wise integration is really, I think, is very faster way to test up the ideas really quickly.
And we see a world where there's going to be many models in the world, open source models, closed source models, and we're model agnostic because we think, just like today, we're over a decade into the cloud journey. There's many large cloud providers, AWS, Azure, GCP, and I have many friends who run startups that are fine on each,
Yes.
right? We think there's going to be a lot of different models out there, preferably even more than the cloud providers. And it's actually going to be more specialized. I think there's going to be models are good for different tasks, and we want to have all of them on our platform. And yeah, you want to be able to test. You want to test prompts. You want to test different models and how did these different models perform for your use case.
Like, can you show me some use cases like that we have?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So if you head into our platform, right,
Okay.
you can see the different tabs on the left-hand side as kind of replicas of the intro that I gave. So for example, pipelines is the core central piece of our platform. And what pipelines are, they're just workflows, right? Within the platform, there are no code workflows, which you can access within the pipelines tab. But there's also, like if you write something in Python SDK, compile it, it will actually appear in your account as well as the no code version of the Python SDK. I mentioned storage, right? That's where we're going to create a central knowledge base and live sync to all your data. I mentioned automations. Those are performing actions and having triggers around your tools to actually trigger pipelines to run and perform actions. Chatbots, right? Putting chatbot interface on your platform. We're going to have a search interface soon. Transformation I mentioned, evaluations is kind of what I mentioned as well, to be able to test your workflows across different input cases. You maybe want to test these 100 input cases on your pipeline, but have different models and see how it performs. So that's our evaluation suite. But you mentioned about a use case, right? So our number one use case that people use this for is chatbots and knowledge-based search. So I'd like to talk about the knowledge-based search today.
Okay.
We have templates that are really basic templates for all of this, but you can imagine more complex use cases. We built it very flexibly. And feel free to interrupt if you have any questions to jump in. But
yes,
with just 4 blocks, right? We've deployed, for many companies, an internal knowledge base search for the company. So, for example, we can create a knowledge base here, and we could just say it March 14th, because that's the day we're filming this, knowledge base. And in here, you can centralize all the data that you have and, be able to search over it. So say you have, integration data, say you have data in Airtable, Discord, Gmail, Notion, you can put it all here and index it, right? That takes a little bit to do. So maybe we can just do a quicker demo with, we want to do a VectorShift search bot. Say, we have URL links on VectorShift. So we can index it into this knowledge base. You could do a recursive URL to scrape the sub pages. Say we have, documents as well, like we have our multi-service agreement, right? That's a document. We can also place that in. Take some time to load. You can also have, your, say, like our docs. There's another thing that could be pretty helpful in understanding what VectorShift is. Maybe we can load that in as the final thing for this quick demo.
Like how many items can we add? Is there any limitations on the number of items?
Yeah, there's no limitation on your end, and you can, one thing is the more data it's harder to actually find the most relevant chunk, the relevant piece of information, right? But there's no effective limit. And I mentioned we have full flexibility to control the chunk size, the chunk overlap, and we also have even hybrid search options and choosing kind of your embedding model when you actually are creating the vector store.
I've tested this out, and I got pretty good response. Actually, I put in the URL of the Ollama, and I was able to get. I'm well versed with Ollama, and I was able to get the accurate answers from the Ollama URL. Yeah,
absolutely. And just like that, we have our pipeline set up. So just to walk through the pipeline at a high level, right? Pipelines, almost all generative workflows, it's going from input to output, right? You have some inputs, a user question, documents. We're querying, or we're doing some operations to get to the output, right? As you mentioned, getting an answer about Ollama. But here it's more about VectorShift. So we are, querying this vector store and providing the most relevant pieces of information. Right now, we're returning 2 chunks. And, we also have advanced features to metadata filter and re-rank the documents, etc. And we're passing the context along with user question to this openai LLM. And, you can use many LLMs, open source LLMs, Anthropic, we can do many options, to these variables. And then this LLM is asked to answer the question based on the context. It's able to reason with the data that's provided back and provide the output. So you can then test it right here, either in a run form or like in a chatbot format. But I could just do a quick example. What our use case is for VectorShift, and it should respond.
Yes.
And this is because GPT-4, it's going to give a pretty complex and advanced response.
Nice. So can we embed it in a website as well?
Absolutely.
This chatbot. Okay.
While this is running, we have to just give it 1 second. While it's running, we can deploy it. So we could deploy this as a chatbot, as I mentioned in the website. So with just one click over here. So let's just do VectorShift website bot. And chatbots by definition have one input, one output, one question coming in, one output coming in, and we've already pre-populated the one that we're using now, and we could just save it, and then we can export it, and you could put like a ChatGPT interface on this to actually chat over here, or embed in your website here. For knowledge search like this, we have actually done many deployments where people actually want to deploy it in their Slack channels. So you could do direct connect. It would be a Slack app that shows up. or you can pipe it out via API or even WhatsApp. Yeah, that's a
Pretty
pretty
good.
common workflow that kind of we have. That's actually our number one use case. It's some sort of knowledge-based search or kind of chat-based search, which is pretty similar.
Yes. Another question would be, how do like, since as far as I know, there are costs associated with vector base, getting a vector database, and getting a storage. So, like, how do we, where do we store? Like, which database do we store first? As a first question, which database do you store, and what is the cost associated on your part to get this
Yeah.
database up and running? Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, we use Quadrant under the hood, and we recently actually migrated from Pinecone to Quadrant
Okay.
because of
Okay.
the ability to actually have more flexibility for our users, because many people requested more flexibility with the different embedding models, and Quadrant does a better job with that. And uh, so we made that migration. We want to kind of take care of all of this stuff under the hood, for our users. But you mentioned kind of the cost perspective. If you were to build this by yourself, uh, you know, storing into the vector database, the how much you're storing, how many vectors, that all has associated costs. With we have a very extensive free tier that we
Yes.
give access to every piece of our platform, and you're able to access every piece. But yeah, because of the social cost, we kind of usage caps each of the pieces. With the premium pro tier, we have different usage caps, but we also have, you can go, as you mentioned, you can store an unlimited size through our platform, and we have basically usage cost that we pass through if you go over kind of the caps for each of the plans.
Yes, yes. I mean, a very generous pricing there, especially with the free tier as well. I've
Absolutely.
tested out the free tier. It's pretty good, and I was able to create and make a WhatsApp bot for myself using the free tier itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think the free tier is great to get started, and you can actually run a whole workflow, like even what we just did end to end, for sure.
Yes.
And it's like designed so that you're able to see the use if it's useful, for you before you're actually using it at scale.
Yes, ultimately, like, there are people who just wanted to get their hands wet in AI technology. There are people, there are enterprise who would be looking for solutions and getting it ready and putting it in and sending it to their customers. One of the projects that I'm working on is an enterprise, a company that wants me to build a chatbot and make it production ready. I think this platform will give a platform. This is a platform where you can make everything production ready, test it out, test your ideas very soon, and if it works, change the workflow. If it doesn't works, if it works, then go for production and deploy it in an instance, be it on WhatsApp or directly to the to your website and all.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good. I like, this is one of the reason. Therefore, I wanted to have a chat with you, to know, to show to my viewers of this technology. And another thing I would like to ask is, like, how many person do you have on your team? It seemed to be quite a lot of going on in
Yeah, yeah.
VectorShift. Yeah.
So we actually have, including the two founders, right now we have 7 people on our team. All of us are engineers, and yeah, like we're really focused on building. We want a product that people love, and we want to be the cheapest way people deploy LLM applications, and the fastest way, and also a way that gives you a lot of flexibility, right? And that's kind of our vision as a company. And
Hmm.
yeah, we're happy to talk more about kind of what we're working on. But I think on our roadmap is we're focused on building more interfaces so that we can actually go end to end. Like I mentioned, we have a search interface coming out soon. We're focused on building more data sources, integrations. We're making sure we're more scalable because our users has risen a lot over the last few months, and we want to make sure we can kind of process all of that. And a lot of kind of what we do is you know, actually, as I mentioned in this knowledge-based node, is we want to be able to handle whatever data you have, audio and video, tabular data. We'll automatically put into a SQL database, allow for queries. PDF reading is challenging. We want to take care of that, and make it easy for anyone who comes in. And we want to basically have a central hub where all your data, we'll live sync it, live embed it, and give it access to the models in the right way, and in ways that models can understand, so that you could build workflows that actually drive value and are accurate and reduce the number of hallucinations.
So do we have this OCR as well, optical character recognition?
Yeah, we already OCR it already in here, and like we want to take care of it for the users, and for PDFs we basically try both naive ways of just extracting information, but also like if that doesn't work, we actually OCR it, and if that doesn't work, we'll use like 254 vision and some other advanced techniques to actually try and do whatever you can to get the information out. But yeah, like it's already baked in. When you put in a file here, we'll do the necessary steps and try out different things and see what actually works best. Again, like this is when you actually go into production level apps, it's the data quality matters a lot. And from what we can tell in all the enterprise, there's a lot of data that is not in the best shape. So we're solving those problems little by little. We still have a long way to go with many kind of edge cases, but kind of that's our vision, to be able to solve everything all at once.
Okay. Are you also delving into the in the agent, like an AutoGen framework, where you go on trying until and unless you get the answer, or some sort of agents framework?
So we have our own agents framework that we've already built. We actually haven't released it yet because there are very few enterprise ready use cases for agents today. And the primary reason is because the models are not good enough. But absolutely, we're very strong believers of agents, because we actually they're going to be the primary way, at least in the current architecture, how AI is going to be used. At least that's how we view it. And we have an agent product, and it'll be ready to release as when the next model, when models get better, when we think kind of it's ready in that sort of way. But we're building kind of our platform in a way that is almost going to be ready, for that moment, right? Agents, just like models, they're going to need the right data to actually perform the actions. You're actually going to need all of these actions across your tool set, such as, sending a Gmail email, sending a Slack message, updating a Google Doc, updating a Google Drive, sending leads to HubSpot, right? It needs these integrations to go and perform these actions if it actually decides that's the right way to do it. So we want to be able to give these actions to the agents. We want to give entire workflows to agents. We want to be able to, give all these tools and data sets so that the agents can actually perform the actions in the right way possible. And we're building in the right way. It's just we haven't released the agent product yet for the reasons I mentioned.
I'm really excited. Best of luck for the future interventions that you're going to do.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And enjoy chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And I think we'll meet soon again